Midland Salvation Army losing some major funding they use to help the homeless. The United Way of Midland is cutting how much they give to the organization. The Salvation Army is only getting a fourth of what they asked for. They tell us the news came as a shock, and now they're going to need help to make up for the loss. News West 9's Christina Burgess tells us what happened and what's next. Christina.
Well, yeah, Crystal, I had the chance to speak with the lieutenant right here at the Salvation Army about them not receiving this funds from the United Way of Midland, and they're asking for the community's help at this point to help them make up for what they lost. Here at the Salvation Army, Lieutenant Robert Corsten explains the process the Salvation Army goes through when it comes to receiving their funding.
We have other groups, foundations, and agencies that will try to assist us anywhere they can.
One of those groups being the United Way of Midland.
United Way has been such a vital agency in what we do here for years, so we are incredibly thankful for them. This year they had to cut some funding in some areas, and unfortunately we were on the larger side of those cuts.
Every year, the Salvation Army, along with other groups and nonprofits, have to apply for funding from the United Way. And this year, the Salvation Army isn't receiving much.
The United Way is still giving us 25% of what we asked for, so that's still a big chunk. But we still need to figure out a way to offset what was already budgeted for.
Something that came as a surprise to them.
It's not that we were cut funding, it's we were cut so much. That was unexpected and hit us.
The funding that was cut would go to programs to help the homeless here, like their shelter and feeding programs. With this funding now lessened, the Salvation Army needs to make up for it.
So now we're just asking for the community to step up like they've done many times in the past to make sure the Salvation Army can continue to do the most good here in the Midland. One thing I will say is that God has never let us down before, and He will provide for His people, and we're going to continue to do that in His name.
Yeah, and Crystal, I had the chance to speak with Carrie Hannigan with the United Way of Midland, and she tells me that this year they just simply didn't have enough funding for all the groups that needed it, but they do still plan on working with the Salvation Army in the future.